Christian Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Tracing His Promise, Understanding the Bigger Story of Jesus and What That Means for Us, by Donna Amidon. Narrated by Nan McNamara. Introduction. When you think of Jesus, what image comes to mind? Is he a tender baby in a manger, a compassionate man on a cross, the reigning King of Heaven? What if Jesus is even greater than you imagined? What if there's more to his story and its connection to our lives than we ever dreamed? The invitation was simple, an ornament exchange for women. Being neither crafty nor having time to spare, I would have normally brushed off the idea of exchanging homemade ornaments, but for some reason I said yes. Little did I know, I'd be introduced to Jesus in a way I'd never experienced before. As part of the exchange, I made 25 ornaments resembling ancient scrolls. The night before the exchange, I dug out paper, glue, and a box of matches. There I sat, rolling strips of paper and burning the edges for an aged effect. What have I gotten myself into? After the exchange, everyone who'd participated had a set of 25 ornaments representing 25 stories that collectively traced Jesus and his promise through the Old Testament. I still remember carrying the shoebox of ornaments home that day, not realizing how these simple decorations and the stories they represented would transform our family's Christmas and how we viewed Jesus in the Old Testament. Once home, I opened the box and looked through the ornaments. I picked up a small slingshot with smooth stones representing David, the shepherd boy to whom God promised a son with an eternal throne. I cradled a delicate lamb ornament representing the Passover, an event that foretells the coming Christ like no other. I picked up a fiery furnace ornament, symbolizing not only the incredible test of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, but a reminder of the glorious fourth man in the fire. That Christmas, our family used these 25 ornaments to create our own Jesse tree, a decorative tree that tells of the coming Christ. Beginning December 1st and going through Christmas, we added one ornament to the tree each day and shared the stories with our children. During that first season, using the Jesse tree, something stirred in my heart. Though I had gone to church my whole life and was in seminary, God's redemptive plan came alive not only in my mind, but in my heart and eyes. I loved seeing the connections between the Old and New Testaments. I savored how each event, story, and prophecy pointed to Jesus and his birth in Bethlehem, brushstrokes in a grand painting of love and redemption. More than that, I realized that Jesus was not just a fulfillment of prophecy, nor was his life confined to the crimson letters of the New Testament. He was there in the beginning with God. He had been there all along. It's been 14 years since that first ornament exchange. In that time, I've had the joy of using the ornaments year after year to teach my children about the promise of Christ. I'll admit some years have gone better than others. We've had missing and broken ornaments, arguments and meltdowns over whose turn it was to hang that day's ornament. But despite the chaos and imperfection, the investment paid off. I now see in my children an understanding of Scripture and an invaluable love for God. When Christmas stress levels soar, as they typically do, I breathe deeply with the anticipation of pulling out the ornaments and reflecting on the promised Christ with my family. It's a time when our hearts connect not just with each other, but with something greater, someone greater. Several years ago, I'd been praying about a fall study for the ladies at my church. Weeks passed with no clear direction. However, everything changed one morning when my 10-year-old daughter and I were in the kitchen discussing her favorite subject at the time, her dreams of one day having a family. Without giving it much thought, I asked, "Charity, when you're a mom, will you do the Jesse tree with your kids?" With a sparkle in her eye,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?